Scott Brown is using a rumor he didn't even bother to check to see if it was true, to try to scare people into giving him money. Turns out he is sending this to out-of-state conservatives. He's using, as the lawyers say, my name and likeness to raise money for himself, which would be flattering if I were actually running against him. But since that is completely made up, it feels more like it's just gross and harassing. So here's today's new news on this very weird saga. Senator Brown's office never called me to ask if I was running against him. They could have just called. I would have told them no. They didn't call. They just sent out the letter. When I saw the letter, I made clear, on TV even, that I am not running. I never said I was running. The Democratic Party in Massachusetts never asked me to run. I'm not running. So Scott Brown is wrong. But he's still trying to run against me, even after all that. He went on talk radio on WAAF in Boston today.
I wanted to ask you about another topic, which is Rachel Maddow, who says that you sent out a fundraising letter saying that she was going to run against you, and we have some audio from her, actually, which I'll let you hear.
Yeah, no, I listened to it.
Okay. She says she's not running for office and that you didn't ask her if you were running before sending out the email.
Well, I didn't realize I had to.
Yeah, why bother finding out if something's true if it makes for good fundraising material anyway?
Well, out of respect, I'm going to continue to fight and do my job and work hard to do just that. And, bring her on. I don't care.
Bring her on? Bring what on? I'm not running against you. I'm not running for anything. You made this up.
Bring her on.
Bring her on. Bring on this thing. Scott Brown is my senator. Isn't this weird? Senator Brown not only didn't call to check any rumor before raising money off of it, he won't come on the show to talk about this fact. His Senate office is refusing to even return our phone calls. And this is legitimately surprising to me. They are apparently not going to retract the letter that they've sent out all over the country saying I'm a terrible, awful, far-left rubber stamp person who's running against him, even though it's not factually true. I mean, I may be an awful person like he says, but I'm not running against him. I'm really not. I never was. Apparently, they're just going to leave this letter out there and keep trying to raise money off it on talk radio and all the rest of it, even though it's not true. When I found out today that Scott Brown's office is refusing to talk to us, refusing to make the senator available to come on the show to talk to me, he'd just rather talk about me, and that they're refusing to retract the untrue thing they have said about me for fundraising purposes, I got this idea. I decided that I should do a robocall to my fellow Massachusetts residents to let everybody in Massachusetts know that whatever they're hearing from Scott Brown, it's not true. He's making this up. Turns out, I didn't know. That's against MSNBC rules. They won't let me do the robocalls, which I totally understand. But anyway, I'm just going to make a few calls right now, because I'm not a robot, right? Make a few calls right now to some folks in the Bay State just to set the record straight. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to use the script that I wrote that they wouldn't let me use for the robocalls. Hi, I'm Rachel Maddow. Yeah, I'm Rachel Maddow. Yeah, I host a TV show on MSNBC weeknights at 9 p.m. I live in Western Massachusetts in the beautiful hill towns between Northampton and Pittsfield. This week, our new senator, Scott Brown, sent out a fundraising letter to try to tap the same out-of-state conservatives who funded his Senate campaign. The letter says that I'm going to run against him in 2012. And since I'd be so awful for the country, those conservatives in North Carolina or Texas or wherever should send him more money. Do you remember when Mitt Romney ran for president after being our governor and he went around the country talking about how awful Massachusetts was? Well, to have our new senator raising money around the country by saying how awful one of his Massachusetts constituents is kind of feels the same way to me. I'm not running against Scott Brown. I've never said I'm running against Scott Brown. Massachusetts Democrats never talked to me about running against Scott Brown. But Scott Brown doesn't care about that. I'm his constituent, and he didn't even have the decency to call and ask me if what he was saying was true before he smeared me around the country to raise money for himself. It's standard now for conservatives to invent boogeymen to run against. The supposed death panels, the fake controversy about the president's birth certificate. I guess Scott Brown's going to be one of the politicians who makes stuff up to raise money instead of dealing with real issues. I'm Rachel Maddow, and I paid for this call, not because I'm running against Scott Brown. I'm not, but because I think he's being a creep here. And maybe this will make him think twice the next time he wants to smear one of his constituents to raise money out of state. My show airs at 9 p.m. Eastern in Massachusetts on MSNBC. So far, Scott Brown refuses to come on. Maybe he'll change his mind. I hope he does. Thank you for listening. Never done that before. I think it went really well. I wonder if Scott Brown's going to have the decency to call me back. In just 2 weeks' time, if you're in the Minneapolis area, you will get the opportunity to attend a fundraising party for Republican Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann. Her special guest will be the half-term governor, one-time Republican vice presidential nominee, and now social networking maven, Sarah Palin. At that fundraiser, for the low, low price of just $10,000, you could have the opportunity to get your photo taken with both Michelle Bachmann and Sarah Palin. $10,000. Or, as we first pointed out on this show last week, you could always save your $10,000 and just instead spend 20 minutes or so photoshopping yourself into a picture with them instead. It's a suggestion that one of Michelle Bachmann's political challengers is running with. Minnesota State Senator Terrell Clark is seeking the Democratic primary nomination for the seat that's currently held by Michelle Bachmann. She has put up a new website called My 10 Grand Photo, where for the low, low price of absolutely nothing, you can make your own picture with Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann and former half-term Governor Sarah Palin. Some people just posed with Palin. Some people posed with Palin and Bachmann. Some people posed with their entire posse. I like this one. Still others have used the website to make even better photos. Here's Sarah Palin giving the thumbs up to a wolf hunter. Here's Michelle Bachmann touching God on the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Even Sarah Palin with the man whose country she can see from her house. A neighborly wave to Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin. And State Senator Terrell Clark isn't the only one encouraging photoshopping. We, on this show, you might recall, asked for your efforts for the better part of the week or so. Here's what some of you came up with. Robin Gordon sent us this Palin with Palin shot. Eric Witz channeled Jim Henson for this. Jess Indris offered up this one. Hey, nice. Please do keep them coming. Maddowblog.msnbc.com. Oh, hey, two last things. Two things I said wrong tonight. First, Senator Richard Burr is from North Carolina, not South Carolina. And John Boehner is minority leader, not majority leader. I'm sorry I messed those up in tonight's show. I will beat myself with a big, horrible tree branch for an hour for penance. I'm sorry. Okay. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Until then, our new blog, again, maddowblog.msnbc.com.